I've experienced cinematographers who are very calm, they give you time.
Pravaz was really hard because he was having 3 guys and 3 of these guys was having different skin tones.
That's hilarious. That's too funny.
I think Shaktivan is the best option for me to go with.
Hey guys, good morning and welcome to our season first ever episode of Famous Talkies. The whole intention of creating this podcast is basically interacting with all the professionals who are behind the scenes in our ever-growing media entertainment industry. As you're all aware, the industry has gone through major changes over the past few years. And as we move forward, it's very important that we give importance to the people who are behind the scenes that actually make content a reality and how they convert a director's or a producer's storytelling experience, their vision, into a reality. I have with me my team members, Andres, Prashant and Vishal. Oh yeah, and I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Anant and I'm the director of Famous Studios. I'm third generation. Our business has been in media entertainment for now 79 years. So we have seen a lot of ups and downs in the industry, and now is the right time to put forth and have discussions with people that matter most. So quick background on 3 of my brilliant team members who were fully end-to-end responsible to deliver this year's biggest blockbuster, Kalki. Kalki was a very ambitious film. I had the opportunity along with my team to visit the sets, to meet the producers, to meet some of the stars as well. I would like to put on record here that I personally feel very proud that an Indian production house, Vajanti Films in this case, was able to pull off such a beautiful film with amazing VFX, obviously brilliant color grading from my 2 champions here, and obviously Vishal, who was very instrumental in pulling the grading part of the project to Famous. So today I'll be discussing what this film really meant for our team members, what it meant for Famous. So in terms of when you first got a glimpse, भाई कल की आ रहा है हमारे पास, ग्रेडिंग करना पड़ेगा, पहला थॉट्स क्या था आपके, मतलब आपने कैसे उसको अप्रोच किया?
When Vishal said okay now Kalki is coming, so we studied, so it was a VFX oriented. So first ये था कि अच्छा VFX was priority.
पहले तो सर हम लोग को पता ही नहीं था कि उसका नाम कल्कि होने वाला है.
हाँ, प्रोजेक्ट के से
yes. Project K for us.
Correct.
To setting up the VFX pipeline, क्योंकि कुछ metadata चाहिए था उनको, and anyways he was already there because test इन्होंने pass कर लिया था. So then to set up the thing, first step was to set up the VFX workflow and then taking it forward. So once that thing was set it up, then we started working on the looks and things like that with the DOP and with the team.
So Prashant, for you, you've always been on Resolve, and I remember the initial days we were trying to also convince the client to move to Resolve instead of Baselight, etc. Because Prashant still has some idea of how to use the Resolve. You obviously felt a little bit afraid to move into the other system, right? So as a colorist, you have been in the industry for a while. As the industry moves forward, cinematographers now have their choice of talent that they want to work with. Obviously, we pushed you into the Baselight. Do you feel that it was a good push from us? Do you feel that you're more confident on that machine? Because end of the day, as a colorist, don't you think you need to be more versatile and be able to work across software so that you might not lose the client, or you might basically able to offer a solution or a creative solution to a client irrespective of what machine it is? So tell us your journey about Kalki and Project K, when you started, and then as the time went, you became very comfortable with the cinematographers.
Yeah, I think first, the test when I get maybe on March 23, right, was around, I think 3 shots, you know. There was no any kind of brief, anything. They just sent 3 shots. They said, just please grade. And obviously I did on Resolve, the DOP, he really liked the look. And then I got the news, like, hey, Andres, you have to grade the film on Baselight.
Yeah.
So I was a bit of, aware of Baselight. but never operate.
Mm.
So obviously at the beginning, I get a bit scared, of
Yes,
this
I remember
because
that day. Yes, when you were very scared.
yeah.
Yes.
So, but then when I get into the system, it was really intuitive, software. It's quite different from Resolve, because Resolve is node tree and base laye's layer. But then with the help of Prashant, I think I get really fast hand on the system, and then we move forward to
Boom.
that.
Then
Yeah.
boom.
So basically, what I understand is that it is the intent of the artist to try something different or work on a software that or hardware that he is not familiar with. Okay, but at the same time, you're saying that the team was very, very collaborative and they gave you their backing. That don't worry, we're here to support and we will deliver this project together. So you did receive that kind of support.
Yes, obviously. I think at the beginning, the famous was trying to get me in some training with the people of Baseline, But then with time, I think Prashant was a really, helpful, in that part, because I was sitting with him, asking, like, hey, in Resolve, I do this. How can I do it in Baseline? So he was always aware of that, of how can we, or in my case, because there are a lot of things, that I can easily do it in Resolve, that maybe in Baseline is more fast sometimes it's more slow.
So there were times like he is graded one shot in Resolve when the training was happening, and then we used to write the steps, and then same how to approach it. We've come to Baseline, so that windows tracking, key, secondaries, primaries, that he is aware of, like the steps, because when you are aware of something, you are fast.
Correct.
But when it's new, then you are thinking.
So now coming to the look of the film, okay. Obviously, you get this shot which is an entire blue screen because I believe 80% of the film is
Yes.
VFX,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So when you get this shot and you get hardly any brief, what was going on through your mind, and how many looks did you guys try, and out of those 3 or 4 looks that you tried, which is the one that the cinematographer liked the most?
See, to start with it, the first footage what we saw was VFX.
Correct.
Like, was the entire blue screen. We started with that. So, and the film was shot over a period of time because they've shot something and then they realized, okay, some shots are missing. So they've shot again after 6 months. So in that case, there were some changes in the lights. So we both used to discuss, in this, there's so much changes. How will be the film then? Because while approaching. And the VFX part was also tough for us to grade because we've done the base grade. But base grade, it's not only blacks and whites. We were working to the looks also. Because if it's a sand, it's a desert. So we have to add little warmth. So we used to send it to DOP. So he's guiding us. Okay, reduce some warmth, add some red. So that back and forth used to happen. But at the same time, it was fun. Because we are also discussing, why he wants more warmth. Because we don't know what background is.
Yeah.
So he's sending the background. Okay, this is what the background would be, one frame. Okay, so then we are discussing, okay, let's reduce it. Or let's add little amber or yellow, whatever it's required for the scene. So that is what we started with. And also, when we met the DOP, so he gave a reference of a film. So he also wanted all the scenes to be differently. So we started working on that looks, creating LUTs from our own system. Like there are scenes where we spend 1 week in creating LUTs.
Obviously, being a heavy VFX film, a lot of back and forth happened. I was also part of the storm in the last 2 weeks before we delivered the film. But what I remember is you guys saying that, we've delivered, VFX has come, the plates have come, we've added it to the timeline, we've graded it, sent it back. But the next day, again, the same shot, there are changes coming again, right?
Yes.
Obviously, not only can that be very frustrating because you're like, I'm going to have to spend more machine time. I have to again do the same thing again. We're not progressing. I'm sure that posed a massive challenge to our infrastructure, our tech infrastructure. So I wanted to understand, what did you guys use any kind of new approach as compared to maybe on some other film, okay, which eventually made it successful and we were able to deliver the film to them on time. And also new technologies like AI, for example, okay. I've recently heard, because I do a lot of reading on the industry, Resolve based light are now slowly adding their own AI plugins. So do you feel as a project you could have maybe used AI more on the creative elevation part of the project for this, and moving forward, how do you see the workflows coming along?
So like projects like these, if we are involved as a colorist at the starting point where the shoot is happening, so in that case we can take the AI tool and create looks like, okay, these are the possibilities, rather than creating it later.
I feel the pipeline, on the film was the same. At the end, was a really heavy VFX, really lot of CG. But we know at the end we have to tie to the same workflow. There was around 25, studios involved. So we need to respect, some pipelines,
Or getting all them together, no, because each studio has their own workflow.
Correct.
So getting everyone together was a challenge also, because many vendors were involved later, in the later stage, where we already set it up the workflows. And then talking to them, okay, getting them back to our workflow was a challenge, but yeah, we've done that. And most interesting what I observed was, because at the end the climax scene was there, like it's a 30 minutes and VFX came at the end. So I segregated the shots. Okay, it's one scene, but then I further divided into scenes. Okay, these 15 shots are fire, these 15 shots are this. So, okay, this needs secondary, so I've grouped it just to meet the deadline. Okay, one base is required because VFX were all base graded. So it was all chakachak at the start only. So only what we needed was secondaries then, because even in the base grade we've added lots of secondaries. So then that was a challenging also for us, because in that 24 hours to finish that 30 minutes was like, and I've graded climax twice.
Correct.
Due to whatever reasons.
Yeah.
So it was fun at the end.
No, that's amazing. So, just for the viewers, I think it's important for them to also understand.
Yes.
That behind the scenes, when you are grading such a big budget film, A, you're on the line. B, there are 25 VFX studios sending you data. Okay.
Correct.
So even the team, the line producers, the coordinators, obviously they've been up all night for the last 1 month trying to deliver this. So the commitment levels to deliver such a film can only come when you have some kind of passion towards your work.
Yes.
If you just come and sit like a normal 9 to 5 job, ये काम नहीं होने वाला है, right?
Yes.
So clearly shows that without the passion and without that in-depth learning of color, a project of this scale can never be delivered.
Yes.
So that really highlights how you guys stepped up to the plate and you were able to deliver. Vishal, अभी I wanted to understand from you, जब आप पहले बार वैजयंती गए थे, और दैट टाइम हैदराबाद का भी स्टूडियो हमारा चालू था, और जाके मिले, 2-3 बार सेट पे भी गए, एंड आई वाज ब्लोन अवे बाय द सेट डिजाइन एंड द कंस्ट्रक्शन. बट ऑब्वियसली इन द मिडल देयर वर मेनी हिकअप्स, बिकॉज जो पहला डिलीवरेबल जो आया था वो एक लिमिटेड था, और हर महीने आगे हम लोग चलते गए और डिलीवरेबल्स बढ़ते गए. आपको सबसे चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट फेमस के साथ में ये रहा है, डिलीवरिंग कल्कि, एंड ऑल्सो क्लाइंट रिलेशंस एक तरफ रखना मजबूत, और एक तरफ प्रोड्यूसर और उनकी टीम को ठीक खुश रखना, सिनेमाटोग्राफर को खुश रखना, डायरेक्टर को खुश रखना. तो आपका ये जो बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट आपने जो किया है, आप मुझे एक या दो आपके जो बड़े लर्निंग्स क्या थे इसमें, इन टर्म्स ऑफ कीपिंग द रिलेशन, also ensuring that on one side you are managing relation with client, one side you are communicating to your team also, भाई client का क्या feedback आ रहा है.
Absolutely.
You were in the center point of all the conversation. So what were your 2 or 3 key learnings, and you want to share that with future generation people who want to enter business development, who want to enter business development, especially in our industry, in film and long format industry.
So Kalki was a humongous project for us in the span of 2 years. So of course the approach was to go to the producer, talk to them, build certain rapport with them so that they can get the confidence on us. At the last spell of the project, when we were about to deliver, there are so many things suddenly came up. Producers, directors, DOPs, the 25 VFX houses, and I was the center point of them. So I was dealing with everyone, try to keep them calm, try to keep my colorist happy. They were also exhausting that time. The DI producer is also very exhausted. But yeah, as a team, we pull it out together.
So as a business development head, in a film line. In this particular project, what was the most frustrating part of this project that you felt कि यार मेरे से नहीं होने वाला है, I just want to give up, and it reached a level where you were very demotivated?
When you deal with 100 different people with their different opinions, so sometimes you feel अरे ये तो नहीं करना चाहिए था. But yeah, but the team was good, and also I got tremendous support from you, sir.
So this is a very interesting part, right? Because what I have realized in the post-production side, the behind-the-scenes side, okay, where the processing of the film or advertising is concerned, I've always felt that 80% of the talent that's out there wants to only do it for themselves. They will join a company, but for them, it's just them. One massive thing that I've seen as a bird's eye view, interaction between team members or teaching another team member something else. अपने बोलते हैं ना स्कूल में कि शो एंड टेल दिखाओ, आज आपने क्या सीखा बाकी बच्चों को प्रेजेंट करो, न्यूज़पेपर कटिंग हुआ है जो भी हुआ. That is something that I have seen as lacked, especially in our organization at Famous. Okay, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but in this case I really saw you guys were together, and I also know the last 1 month you all didn't go home. You had accommodation next to the studio. You all managed. I think that's also very important for the viewers to understand that a film or any piece of content cannot be delivered just by one person.
Absolutely.
No.
It has to be a team
Yeah,
effort.
yeah.
And as the next generation comes into the business, I think it's very important for them to know that the focus should be for the long term planning, and you should have your set of people that can execute a project without any flaws. So this is an experience that you guys had. So
See this 80% 20% ratio, no? Now we work with other studios earlier, so that 20% comes from you and Arun sir. That back moral support, like okay, we'll do it. So even after working for 36 hours, that one push from all of y'all was like, okay, let's push one more.
No, 100%. And you see, I'll tell you what happens is with the management and with
Correct.
the team, there has to be a gap that needs to be bridged.
Yes.
Neither party can go across that halfway line.
So I think this project helped
Exactly.
to build that.
Correct. So I think that was a very, very
Yes.
good learning for me also. Because the last 2 weeks, obviously, whatever was going on, I also tried to stay very, very calm with the entire situation. And I was like, look, our focus is to deliver. Okay.
Yes.
Then all the other things we can deal with later once you cross that bridge.
Correct.
But I think overall the entire team supported really well. So that was good. It was a good experience for all of us.
Yeah,
Right?
like backend teams like Conformist, data
Exactly.
people, they are there, because at the
Absolutely.
end there are shots coming in, like 100 shots, 200 shots, and like people are mad, like putting in, there are 5 ADs sitting behind them. They see this shot, see that version, see this, there are versions like 100 versions.
जब second deliverable आया कि भाई आपको 3D में grade करना है, तो वो आप लोग, how did you guys manage that? मतलब eventually we did the testing. We obviously could not do it here because the timelines were completely stretched. But how did you guys manage the 3D thing? Obviously it's a very alien thing, right? 3D grading. Not too many studios have done it. Before the other studio even came into the picture, we had already mounted certain technology to do the 3D testing ourselves.
So because even that was new for us.
Correct.
And we were more energetic, like okay, 3D first 3D, chalo karte hain karke. Whether
Correct,
it's one
correct.
shot, let's do it. Let's see what is it.
So just take me through one or two of the key technologies that you added to your room, to your machine, and even the glasses. I'm sure you must have,
Yes.
got professional glasses to see it. So, matlab, was that a flawless experience, and were we actually able to grade some shots in 3D to show the client?
Yes, we did couple of shots because there are devices that we bought from Mahalakshmi, including the glasses. Engineers like Ranjit, Sunil, our DI head Nishit, they helped in setting up the things, and the grades were already there. Now we just matter of putting the offset for left eye and right eye. So it was a new experience, but it took us like I think a week to crack that thing because setting up the base light things, we are reading it, he's doing it, like Nishit is reading it, Trupti is reading it, we are reading it, and everyone has their own experience and taste. Okay, नहीं ऐसा करेंगे वैसा करेंगे, but at the end एक हफ्ते में वो we've done, we cracked it.
That's amazing, and I think this also, it's testament for people to believe that if you are given some kind of a unique challenge last minute, how as a team you work together and you can overcome that challenge. So
Yes.
it's a very, very good example of that. So thank you for sharing that. So guys, 3 rapid fire questions, okay? Now for each 3 of you, separate answers. Which was the best scene in the movie where you are concerned, where you were like, wow, I have to grade this shot, you know? मतलब वो एक ऐसा लगा होगा ना कि भाई ये क्या shoot किया है, you know, it's done a brilliant job shooting this scene. And when obviously the VFX comes in, it's replaced, you then you have the final look. So Andres, for you, which scene in the movie do you remember as, oh shit, this was really cool?
I think maybe the Jaskin,
Okay.
when they're entering to see Jaskin, when we saw the background, you know, the
The
plate.
environment, yes.
Yeah, we say, okay, this will be good. And we never thought we're going to be like that, you know, because we see maybe half of the frame, but then they complete the entire, you know, background, the ceiling. I think maybe not for too much BFX, but I think when Deepika is coming to the complex for the first time, I really love that scene.
You love the shot or you love the character who came?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, maybe both.
No, she's stunning. There's no question about it. Prashant?
For me, it's the cave sequence
Hmm.
and the chase sequence and fight sequence of Amitabh Bachchan and Prabhas, because it was challenging, and also the output what came was very nice. And also there is a song at the end. It's shot at the night. It's in the Shambhala, and that was beautiful. Even without grid, it was beautiful. So that is my best
Okay.
scenes.
Aapko, Vishal?
Mr. Bachchan's intro, Ashwathama's intro.
I
That was
thought
brilliant.
for me also
Yeah.
that was one of the best. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because I think every shot had a different challenge,
yes.
and you know. Also, one more thing, very interesting. Obviously, Amitabh ji is very, very senior now, and they've obviously rigged him up to do all the action sequences. Was it challenge doing the grade in his shots, especially when his face was coming into the frame?
Each scene has n number of windows for eyes, cheeks, like you know,
Yeah.
you name it, for forehead, or bandana is there, what he's tying it, that one. I'm saying for each character, whether it's Prabhas.
Pravas was really hard because Pravas
Yes.
was having around 3, how you say, stones, you know. He was having 3 guys, and 3 of these guys was having different skin tones.
Yeah.
So we have to match, you
Yes.
know, every different character, you know, to Pravas's skin. So I remember one was really white. There was another one with a bit more dark skin, you know. So in every shot of that one, you know, we have to key the character, you know, key the
Roto
arms,
it.
key the face, you know, and then brighten up, you know, to be able to be more close to Pravas's skin. You know?
Okay.
And also
Yeah.
his costume. His costume had little greenish tinge, Prabhas's costume. So after VFX, that tone was gone. And while we were doing the base grade, we see to it that that tone is there on his costume, and after VFX is gone. So we had to roto it like again and push back that green element to segregate from in the desert. So all these things were fun, but it was annoying at that time. But after that, like, oh, come on.
Wow. Not bad, not bad. So guys, in terms of unexpected learnings, because every project, as you guys keep saying, creatively is very different. Challenges are different. Any unexpected learnings from the business side or from the creative side that you guys might have experienced?
One thing what I learned was to be patient, because you never know what I am going through. Maybe he is not going through it. His stage is different. So if I am annoyed, so be calm to understand that person, because even he is going through something.
Correct.
Like, you know, so this is one thing what I understood.
That's a very interesting take. I mean, I was
Yes.
expecting more of a technical learning, but
No.
this is a very deep learning. It's more to do with psychology, with humanity. So, you know.
Teamwork is all that. No,
Absolutely.
If you are calm, you are surrounded with good vibes. And if you are angry, then okay, like, it, do it.
Yeah.
It's that way. But
No, but absolutely, sir. Patience is the key to deliver such a big project where thousands of people are involved, directly or indirectly. So, so many times we fought. So many
Oh,
times we
yes.
fought. Me, Prashant, Andreas, Nishit. But but the goal is to deliver the film, and we delivered it, sir. So yeah, patience was
that fight is there for
Yeah.
that second, and after 10 seconds, okay, like, just deliver
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, we will talk about it after we deliver the film.
हाँ.
This was the conversation. मतलब that's how we used to
बाद में
close.
देखेंगे.
That's how we used to close. Now let it be. We will discuss this once we deliver the. So
Okay, so now you obviously, as colorists, you work with DOPs, cinematographers. Both these guys are basically from Serbia, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
right? So on one side you have two Serbians, one side you have a South American.
Oh man.
And then obviously we have one very simple Desi guy
Wow.
who does, Sir Ram Ram, welcome, welcome. The beautiful part about this entire congregation was different cultures getting together and understanding it on the same page. So how was that as an experience working with a foreign cinematographer?
So I still remember first time when they came in. So we were doing VFX base grade. So that is okay. It's going on. But then for the teaser they came in. So I was doing one shot, getting one shot. So the cinematographer team, being me an Indian, so he's saying, okay, put all your efforts and let's see what you can show us. So for me it was a challenge. Like, okay, come on, let's see. So then I created like 10 looks and they were like, oh, he can do it.
First time you came in and you were going to meet the cinematographer, how was it for you to work with them? And because what happens is I've experienced cinematographers who are very calm, they give you time. I've also experienced guys who come in and if they see that you don't know your stuff within 10 minutes, they'll be like, why have you allocated this colorist to me?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
I've seen both sides.
I mean, I feel when George came, first, we start doing the final look. I think one of the bad thing on this is we get after the shoot. So we never get involved before. After maybe 10, 15 minutes, working with George and the gaffer Soran, we realize, George, I mean, he tells, to us, he was a colorist.
Okay.
All
All right.
He's aware of resolve.
So it was more tough to us, because he was pretty straight of what he want,
Sure.
and sometimes, he was saying, okay, I want this, I want that, in some moments, I say, hey, Prashant, go and do it, because Prashant was a bit more fast, in terms of, operating the system.
Not only operating.
Yeah, but I think was really nice, guy, George, because sometimes there are some DOPs who don't understand, to do something take time. They just say, okay, bring down the background. It's really common in color grading, like we have some scene, some white shot, and they say, okay, pull down, the background. But we have elements, we have characters, like you cannot do it because. And George, was aware of that. So sometimes when he asks for something, he don't, say, okay, do it quickly. So he say, okay, do that. So he give the time, to do it. So I think that part was really good.
Okay.
So there are times where if suppose we are doing a roto, so we both are there. So he's rotoing and I'm doing the next frame.
Nice.
Just to speed up the
That's amazing.
milliseconds.
That's
Come
clear
on,
collaboration, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
two.
Because even he's sitting there with a laptop and he has all that magic tool, this, that, because see, when you're doing by yourself, you can do anything.
Correct.
But
Absolutely.
when you're demanding something, then you should know, okay, there is a difference
Sure.
between a still thing and a moving thing.
No, absolutely.
But you were like, okay, come on, let's give it. So what he wants, we'll give it. In the room, it was fun because everyone and I'm there. So like
Correct,
there were
correct.
times where we used to joke, like because I used to, after eating, I used to burp. I used to burp like loud
Yeah.
because it's also known for that, okay, what you've eaten, you are respecting that because you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you're not respecting the people who are sitting
No,
around
but
you.
then you can apologize it. No, that's the manner.
So you make an intentional mistake and then you apologize after.
No, it's not intention.
It's because in our country, in South America, maybe in Europe, it's really bad to do that.
Yeah.
If you bored
So
in.
the first time he burped, what did you say?
No, like I was get used because for me it was okay because I've been in India for 4 or 5 years.
So you're already
but
used
for
to it.
George, it was like, oh my God. so we was in the room, and then imagine in one DI room, silence, and then you heard, and
That's hilarious. That's too funny. Yeah, so these are the behind the scenes things that happen that keep you
yes.
going, the fun things.
we call how Pumbaa Pumbaa from King
So
Lion.
that
Lion
time,
King.
actually, I had kept my WhatsApp DP like a pig
Okay.
for like 3-4 days because that was a new thing for me.
Okay.
a
So people
different
started calling
culture.
you a pig, yeah?
For
No,
that
no,
one
George,
day-
George. George call him
Ha,
Pumbaa,
one
you
day.
know.
Pumbaa, of course, from Lion King.
That are
Correct.
liking, yeah.
Anything else that you guys would like to share about this project, and how do you feel working on this film might impact positively your professional or career growth? You know, that could be one answer you all could give, okay? In terms of other learnings, any kind of tech tips that you want to give to your audiences, that okay, you guys use something very interesting, and how in India we say jugaad, but we shouldn't, for the sake of audience, we don't want the next generation to also work on jugaad. They should work on a proper process and flow. But any tech tips that assisted you or guided you through the process, you know?
Film box was good, right?
Yeah, Filmbox was good, but also, see, as we've discussed about AI, like all these grading tools, they are getting AI into it for creating looks.
Yeah.
So there are times where we've segregated blacks, whites, and mids and added different looks into it, where black has its own look in the same frame, I'm saying, and the mids has its own look. We've mixed 3 different looks and put it in one shot, in one scene. So this is what was a learning part as a technical for me, where we can segregate blacks, because in Baselite we have different key functions, like segregating midtones, highlights, solo it, whatever how you want it. So it was a fun, because unless and until I did this film, I got aware about how can we merge, like 3-4 looks in one scene.
I think if your collaborator on the project is demanding,
Yes.
it always allows you to go to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
And I
Yes.
feel somewhere it's very important that we also go and seek inspiration from our
Yes.
clients, you know. And one more thing that I wanted to ask you guys is, how important is education a part of this entire thing? Not about what you have learned when you were young or when you were getting into it, but educating the client, because today your client is very focused on the storyline, the edit, shooting locations, etc., what camera he wants to use, what actor he wants to bring in, or actress he wants to bring for the project. But when it comes to educating clients on technology, because technology moves so quickly every 6 months, do you feel taking an approach before you start the project of what are the available new technologies that are there that can help assist in offering a better creative feel to the client? Is that important? And how many times do you guys actually engage with clients, try to educate them, or look, this is my new tool in Resolve, or look, this is my new tool in Baselite, or look, through AI, you want this look, I'll create a few looks and send it to you as an image also, you know? So do you guys regularly engage in educating clients as well about what is new in the studio and how it can help them in the filmmaking process?
There are times where now, see, because everyone is learning. Okay, client side, everyone, they are searching on Google. So when a client is sitting with us, he's anyways having 50% of knowledge just by reading. Okay, these things can be done. So there are times where we've given one shot to AI and getting the look, and we are approaching, but emotions can't be added.
Correct.
From AI. They go with algorithm. Emotions we can only add. So there are times where we've created looks and we've passed. Okay, this is what we like, we don't like the AI part.
I feel there are a lot of tools right now, you know. One of the things we did in the film was the remote session with
Oh, yeah.
I was
George.
actually going to ask, because
Yeah.
the colorist is obviously not from here. If he's not here, he's either in Hyderabad or he's in his native
Yeah.
country. So I'm sure you guys used a lot of remote grading. So
Yes.
I believe you all used Frame.io, or what?
No,
what
we
was the
use
thing
the
you used?
Baselite.
It's
Baselite.
client session. It's named client
Baselite has its own client
Yeah,
session.
really
Yeah,
good,
correct.
by the way.
And what device were they viewing your shots on?
It was an iPad, yeah.
On iPad.
Because initially we had mailed to Baselite people, so they had sent one beta version of that to test it out. So we tested out, it was working fine. At one point, we were also saying DOP that can you grade in that iPad? So you only do few shots. What you are
It sounded back
demanding
to
to
us.
us.
Sorry, I saw the remote session in Baselite for the first time, and was really good.
Yep.
If you compare to another, you know, system like
Okay.
like Resolve, because in Baselite, the client, they can go through all the timeline, so the colorist can be in one shot or in one scene. Meanwhile, the session in this thing, the DOP, he can be in another part. So when we was grading, we was doing some scene. We was having the call with him, on call, and he was saying, okay, go to that shot, So then, okay, which shot? Shot number 28, for example. So I think that thing was really nice.
Before, after
Even
he can
even he can swipe the screen, in the iPad, to see the raw and the grade.
Sure.
And also, the good thing also is that, see, because when we are grading a film, theatre, it's P3. And when we are outputting it for digital, it's Rec 709. So it's what we are seeing on the on the iPad is a conversion of it. So we also know, okay, when it's going to a movie for broadcast anything, it would look same.
Same, correct.
Yeah, so that calibration.
So tell me something from my own knowledge. It obviously went out as a DCP, correct?
Yes.
Now Dolby Vision as a plugin. Does Dolby Vision is only used for your normal TVs and devices, right? Dolby Vision does not go on the screen, or is that my misunderstanding? Not yet.
Not yet.
So now, whichever OTT platform Kalki gets released on, they will ask you for a Dolby Vision mastered output or an HDR output, or what is it that they will be asking us for?
No, these comes into scene when it's original.
Okay.
From any platform. Now, once this is a theatre release, you can't change the workflow unless and until the client is ready to invest more
to convert it into like a HDR10 or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
because HDR, Dolby is same.
I understand.
Only different platform using their own specification names.
Correct. Okay. So, another fun question. If you had to look and you wanted some kind of superpower for yourself, okay, which character's superpower would you want to get into?
Character from the film?
From the films, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. Or it could be mythological also. Doesn't have to be a Marvel. It could be something from our mythology also.
Krishna.
Why? Is it because of what he taught or how he guided Arjun in Mahabharata?
See, that learning is always there within all of us.
Yeah.
It's only how it's been covered.
Correct. Okay.
So that's anyways there. But the best thing is that, okay, he has the capability of going into someone's conscious and explaining him things. Like suppose maybe if I want to add some patience, where a person is impatient, so I'll have to go inside him and calm him down so that he can understand the surrounding in a better way.
That's a very, very interesting. So now we're talking Krishna and Batman in one team.
Yeah, because
that is the cultural difference.
I was planning to say someone from India, some god, but I don't have that.
No, you should say what comes to your mind, right?
Yeah.
So why would you say Batman? Is
Batman
it because
is Batman, man.
Batman is Batman, man.
There is nothing to say.
There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
And Vishal, for you?
So I am a kind of desi guy, sir.
Yeah.
So
Shaktiman.
I think Shaktiman is the best option for me to go with.
Me, very honestly, for me it would be Hanuman.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
It would be Hanuman, yeah. So guys, I think brilliant session with our team. We covered a lot of things, whether it's differences in culture, looking ahead, not staying in your comfort zone, certain learnings for the future generation, and also obviously the fact that we were able to work on such a massive film. Big thank you to our collaborators, Vajanti Movies, cinematographers, to the director. It was a wonderful experience working on it, and I feel moving forward, we only want to inspire the next generation to come into the business. We're always here to help. We're always here to answer your call. We look forward to the next episode. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. And guys,
Yes.
big thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you to our guests. We look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you very much.